The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Media Mash, a roundtable of Cowboys insiders dropping wisdom and offering sizzling takes on the current state of your Dallas Cowboys. Now, your host, Newy Scruggs.
All right, we are here in the Media Mash. It's Thursday, going into a Sunday night football game as the Cowboys take on the Minnesota Vikings. Jean-Jacques Taylor, Hall of Famer Ed Werder, got Nick Harris. I am Newy Scruggs. Dak Prescott spoke at the podium today, and I missed most of it because I was walking in from the Players Lounge show. So what did I miss?
There was a few topics addressed with Dak. I thought one that was pretty fascinating. Clarence Hill had asked him, former friend of this show, I guess now a friend of me.
His own fault.
Former member of the show, current friend of the show.
Current friend. He had asked him, he was like, you found yourself rooting against the Eagles? And he was like, I root against them no matter what, basically is what he said. He's like, regardless, I'm rooting against the Eagles. And it was kind of a funny little moment. But I don't think they are as aware is not the right word. I don't think they are looking outside of their own building as much as they are looking inside, understanding that they have to win 4 straight to even have some of these outside factors even matter. That was one of the big topics. And then also, we're going to talk about it, I'm sure, on this show, this Brian Flores defense. They blitz at a 47% rate against all dropbacks throughout the season. Dak has historically been pretty good in throwing against the blitz. And we talked to CD about that, talked to Dak about that, and just seeing, what has made that work for him. And he's seen it better. There's a lot of things that he has seen in this league. He said there's very rarely times where he gets thrown a pressure look that he hasn't seen in his 10 years in the NFL. And so, it makes for an intriguing matchup, I think, against this Brian Flores defense, is that, he's going to throw pressure at Dak, but Dak also has the skins on the wall to show that he can get around it.
Does he have the tackles, though?
Oh, yeah. That's a great point. It's a fantastic point.
I think Dak knows that, like you're saying, he's going to get a lot of pressure because they're the best pressure team in football. Nobody blitzes more than Brian Flores. And it's hard to decipher where it's coming from because they sort of play this positionless style that he adopted from Bill Belichick. And so guys don't necessarily play the position you think they're playing all the time. And I think Dak knows he's prepared to get hit. He knows he's going to get that his guys aren't going to block him up perfectly every time. It's going to be a physical game. But he's got to get the ball out and succeed, which they didn't do often enough the last time they played against the Lions.
Most important question is sweet. Who's the mic?
Who's the mic for the Cowboys?
Who's the mic?
No. Who's the mic on the Vikings so you can set up their protection
Van Ginkel?
And get their blitz done. It's not a good joke if you got to explain it. So I failed on that. I apologize.
It's all right. We'll give you a pass this time.
They really are a good pass defense, especially, right? I mean, first of all, they're really good on forcing 3 and outs. The Cowboys are the best in the league at avoiding 3 and outs. But you look at the passing game numbers, like there aren't very many guys who have 200 net passing yards against the Vikings defense. And that's saying something given how bad their offense has been.
Well, I think it's going to be a game of big plays. Can they, when they blitz and they come and they block them up, can they hit them and make them pay? And if you do so, perhaps a tad they will back off, and then you can do what you want to. And if not, you just need to hit them 3 or 4 times and put those points.
How hard are the receivers going to play this week, do you think?
Well, one, I don't think there's any question about one. The other one, depending on his temperament, he'll give you what he got.
Is CeeDee Lamb going to go?
Yeah, we talked to him today. He's still going through some of the latter stages of the protocol, but having 10 days instead of 7, that's big for him. And we've seen him on the practice field these last couple of days, but he said it's more about the mental things and being able to quickly, process and digest
things. So it's
things.
cognitive for him.
Yeah, for sure.
Which, it's a concussion, so are you processing as fast as you normally process? That's actually a part that we don't talk about a lot. Like, you get out there and you're running option routes. Are you processing it like you normally do the first step, or does it take you a step and a half or 2 steps to figure out what they're doing to me?
I can't recall seeing a player take part in practice to the extent he has without fully passing the protocol.
Yeah, T. Higgins has also been doing it this week, which is fascinating. I don't know if that's like a blip in the protocol, or
this will be all part of the lawsuit in 20 years.
But I also go back to what you said. You've had a longer period of time. It's not a normal just week.
Sure.
So you've had some extra days and some time. So hopefully that helps him out there. I was waiting on maybe see if George Pickens would show up today, and
we did not get George Pickens.
They told me they were like,
he's taking his time
next week. depending on the outcome of the game and his performance in it next week.
I'll give it to Pickens, though. He talked in the locker room after the game. He did. And maybe he didn't want to, but he did. And, he answered to some of those questions, even answered the Richard Sherman question in the locker room.
He didn't exactly own it, though. I mean, Dak keeps saying, I'm sure you guys have talked to him, and he owns it. He hasn't really owned it.
Yeah, he didn't necessarily own it. He did say, though, I didn't play my best game. That's
his version.
That's obvious.
Yeah, for
when
sure.
you have 37 yards receiving, it's obvious you didn't
1000%.
play your best game and you fumbled inside the 10 for the second week in a row.
So you weren't here yesterday, and we discussed. Let's get your take. Ed's take. And you, Nick, JJT, and I looked at it as 17 games. Nobody's going to have a great one. You're not going to play 17 great games. Against Detroit was not a great game, but I'll take what I've gotten from George Pickens all day long, especially considering last year it was CD and the maybes. And looking at what the Steelers have in terms of what their receiving core is, if this is what it is, I'm fine with it. I'm not up in arms like Mark Schlereth and some other people are about George Pickens in this game and then his indictment on him as a person and character and everything. I just don't feel that way.
Well, I would say that I don't know that it's forgivable to go into a game of that magnitude. You work so hard to create this opportunity for yourself to be playing in a game that has legitimate playoff implications. Like this could determine whether you make the playoffs. And you know that going in. All week long, you've known it. You're just coming off these two big victories over the Eagles and the Chiefs. How can you not play your off on every snap?
I think you can say that word here.
Or most of the snaps. Like that.
Yeah.
How does that define you as a competitor if you can't get motivated to do your job in that circumstance? On every down for your guys.
So, Ed, I counter this. Is he the first guy on the team that's giving you a stinker?
No, the other guy's Trayvon Diggs, and he's not playing.
And, CeeDee Lamb's first game against Philadelphia, here it is.
He dropped the ball. It wasn't because he didn't try or because he half-assed his routes.
He has done that in the past.
What?
Ravens game last year.
I don't think either one of them runs their routes all that well, to be honest with you. Talking to quarterbacks who look at the tape. But, I mean, you should put on the tape in a situation like that. You should see a guy's best on almost every snap.
You're watching your tight end 2 games in a row, turn the ball over. You got Cavante.
Was that too much effort? Not lack of effort. That guy's trying to break 3 tackles. That's how he fumbled. That's also unforgivable. Like, that's a technique thing. And you got to prioritize getting the ball to the ground rather than getting 2 or 3 more yards. But at least the guy's playing hard. That's the difference here. Playing hard.
If we see week 2 and it's not the standard.
Why do you forgive 1 week when it's the biggest game of the year?
Ed, once again, this is just me.
You asked my opinion.
And I love it. I love it. This is why we're doing this show here. I'm looking at it, man, and I just say, okay, this is where.
Yeah, I think the difference is.
Let me just finish right. Yeah. This is where somebody's got to come in here and what Jock talked about. Yes, somebody's got to show it to. Hey, man, is this you? What's going on here? What is it?
This is the George Pickens that got traded here.
Okay, so that's actually my point. When you bring in George Pickens, you accept who he is.
No.
When you bring him in, it's like any other relationship you have. You're not changing people. You're not. You're not changing your girlfriend. You're not.
That's why you have coaches.
Coaches don't change people unless they desire to change. But what I'm saying is that is who he is. No different than Dez is what he was, which is he's this volatile dude who's going to give you all this drama in the locker room and, make a spectacular one-handed catch over 5 dudes in the end zone. But to get that spectacular catch, you got to deal with all this drama where you're like, Dez, really?
There's a difference between...
No, I'm just telling you there's drama.
Getting results and delivering versus competing.
No, and I'm telling you that there's not. If you take the dude, you take all of the dude.
Right.
You don't.
So you think they thought, if we trade for this guy, I'm sure he'll be the exact same person he's been in Pittsburgh, where he's been coached by somebody different, where he's had a succession of quarterbacks he can't trust, who don't get the most out of him. I think they thought if we bring him in here with our leadership, with Dak Prescott in our locker room, and put him out there with CeeDee Lamb and show him how important a player is and what he's capable of in this offense, I think we'll get better results and get a different George Pickens.
He's been a top 5 receiver in the league this year.
Have you not gotten...
I'm not saying I wouldn't
so have
trade
you not
him.
gotten better
I'm not saying I wouldn't have made the trade if I'd known this was happening. I'm not saying I wouldn't sign him. I'm just saying that's deplorable and should never be acceptable.
Both things can be true. Meaning, you want all of that talent, and to get that, you got to put up with this twice a year. okay, what's
Well, you don't have to put up with it because you can get rid of it. The Steelers decided they didn't want to put up with it.
I said, if you
How's
want
that working out for them?
I said, if you want this.
They got a shot in the playoffs.
There would have
better
to be
chance than this team.
there would have to be an expectation that you would have to deal with this at least once or twice a year, given what he did come from in Pittsburgh.
It's like, if you got A.J. Brown in Philly. To get the talent, you got to deal with him reading a book on the sideline.
I understand he's a flawed character, but I didn't think we would see it revealed on such a consistent basis in such a big game. Like, that's what bothers me the most about it is the game. Like, if he did this when they were playing some lousy team.
Okay, check this
they're
out.
Playing their biggest game of the year. What did they talk about all week? How physical it was going to be.
To me,
at the receiver position. They're going to get man-to-man. They're going to be physical. We got to be out more physical than they are. You just shut it down. What does that say about you?
Here's my issue with that.
Had a bad day?
Here's my issue with that.
Okay.
It doesn't matter which game you do it. It doesn't matter which game you do it because, and you look at me like that. What's the one game that there's like, oh my God, if we had this one back?
Well, they haven't had one like that. You mean like
I'm saying if you
Chicago,
did that against
Carolina,
Arizona, you're like, oh, it's Arizona, so okay, if you had to pull that one out, at least you did in that. Well, we lost that one, and now what's the one thing where you're like, damn, if we'd won that one, we'd have the division in our minds. So it doesn't matter which week you do it. It's deplorable whatever week you do it.
It is deplorable, but more deplorable when you're playing a game of this magnitude that everybody has worked so hard and finally won some games to create the opportunity, and you can't be interested?
It's watching CD and Dak in the Packer game, the playoff game. What were you two doing? They were off. It was terrible. Like, the
but
worst
this
time
wasn't just being off. This was choosing not to play. Yes?
Yes. Well, in your eyes, in a whole bunch of people's eyes, yes. Did he own?
I think it was a lack of competitive spirit.
I would definitely say if I'm Schottenheimer, I'd sit him down. Man, this isn't it. Look at this. This ain't it. This isn't you. This isn't it.
What's up with that?
This is, oh, by the way, this is what they said about you. This was what the scouting report was about you. Now you got an opportunity to come into this week, change it. Let's show us who you are. But I'll say this, dude's been a top 5 guy all year long. And if you're going to tell me, man, this was a cruddy game, you didn't like the effort, you didn't like what he did in the game, and he got blown out, would I take it for everything he's given me and seeing what I've seen before from these number 2 receivers out here the past 5 years? Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it.
How do you think Troy Aikman would react to one of his receivers playing like that in a game of that magnitude?
He'd say, I'll kick your...
He'd do the Jack Riley riot act on the sideline.
Sure. Yep.
That's why they won championships. They didn't.
And rightfully so. And no one's saying that Pickens isn't deserving of that. You know, if Dak is that guy or if Shoddy is that guy in his office over the weekend, then yeah, absolutely. He's deserving of that. It's just, I think there's an expectation. I don't know if this is me putting words in y'all's mouth, but you had an expectation when you brought George Pickens in here. Is like, okay, you're going to get some of these things that are, beyond the lines once or twice throughout the year, maybe even more.
They got one of them in Las Vegas that we know about.
He responded in that game. If we're talking about on-field performance, he responded in that game. CD didn't.
I'm talking about being a responsible professional.
For sure. And yeah, you've had
you talk about having the greatest culture in sports history.
I'll the Michael ask this. Michael had his own issues at times.
Yeah, I know. So. Jimmy didn't talk about having the greatest culture in sports history. You talk about winning Super Bowls.
I'll say this. When George Pickens was traded here over the offseason, I am on record saying that this could be a very big disaster.
Especially for a first-year coach.
For sure. And trying to build a culture, and I had mentioned that in my column that day, that this could be a disaster. It has been everything but that.
I'm not saying they shouldn't sign him going forward. I'm not saying it wasn't a good trade. He hasn't had great value. I'm saying it's a huge disappointment that he shut it down like that in a game of that magnitude.
Yes,
I agree. I agree.
The disappointment you're 100% right on, and I'm not disputing on that. I'm coming back into the okay.
So when's he at his limit? If it happens again, is he already you said 2 or 3 times? Okay, we got 2 already, right?
What 2 do you have?
I got the Raiders.
Which was what, him in a casino?
He got disciplined. I don't know we don't know what it was.
Yeah, he performed he played well. He gave it an out.
He played well. He missed 2 series or 1 series?
1 series.
One series.
We don't know
went out and balled.
Yeah, but remember
I'll take that.
Okay.
Around here, I'll take that.
Jalen Tolbert. Can I bring back Jalen Tolbert right quick?
The owner says he's cool with it. And I
don't you want a guy who can coach that out of him?
I can forgive. Okay, out. Okay, you coach it. So you say out. This means it happened. He had to address it. Now, if we see this on Sunday, now we're going to have a problem.
Let me just ask you this. Did Parcells ever coach it out of LT?
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
He didn't coach it out.
Now, LT, much better player. But did he ever coach it out of him? Did he ever give him a change? No. He told Belichick, start the meeting whenever he gets there 10 minutes late.
But did LT ever just shut it down in a big game?
Correct. No, he did not quit. He did not have that.
That's like the biggest sin. One of the biggest sins you can commit as a professional athlete is to do that to your team.
You're correct. And we have seen this before. We've seen it from Kobe. We've seen it from a LeBron. We have seen this in sports.
Yeah, we did see it from Kobe. He refused to shoot that one time.
That's right. So we've seen it. Where
I would still try to keep him. I don't regret that they traded for him. I'm not criticizing that, but
well, what you hope happens is you hope we'll do your count. So there's 2 incidents this year. You hope
that we know of.
Yeah, that's all we can count on. So you hope that he matures next year, that there's one or a half of one. And the next year you hope that there's none. And, it's some people mature at later dates than others. Sadly, but that's the case.
I just think it's most unexpected because of the magnitude of the game.
And the season he was having.
And because of all the talk going into the game from them was how this was going to be a physical challenge. And Dak talking about, I've never felt better about the team I'm taking into December football.
Dude,
and then
you know what, man? You know what? I could
Aren't you sorry you asked me?
No, I could get real psychological about this.
Do it.
But there was a player who once played here. High-profile player, high-profile position. And every time every time he had an opportunity to do something, he failed. And I asked somebody in the building what they thought it was. You know what they said? This particular player, really they thought he had a fear of success. And at certain moments, he didn't want all the things that came with that success. And so he
sabotaged himself?
In a way, yeah. You know who that guy was? You got one guess.
Can I give a guess?
It's very obvious who it was.
Quincy Carter?
Thank you. Yeah. I was going to say 17.
It's Quincy Carter.
Carter.
And so I'm saying not to this degree, but perhaps there was some self-sabotage in there. You never know.
But in this case, I think it was a choice.
I also think that this is the opportunity this week because he's heard the question.
Of course he's going to bounce back now.
Let's see.
Because he's going to say, see, you guys all talk bad about me. You were all wrong.
Well, no, we weren't. We were right.
We weren't wrong.
That's fine. I've got no issue with it. This comes with the meal. And could he feel like it was excessive from Richard Sherman, which obviously he did, and other people? Well, you know what? Go out there and prove them wrong. Go show people that you're the top 5 wide receiver that you've been all year long. And as far as I'm concerned, not only was Pickens, what he did in the game, definitely not the standard, definitely not acceptable. But there's a whole bunch of other people in that game too. When I left them, like, you know what, man, it's the same old Cowboys. Heard all this stuff about we're going to do this, and we're here, we're going to be blah, blah, blah. And you go down there and you lay down like dogs. Because Randy said gutless. Randy Gallo, just gutless. Like, you know what, fooled again. Like George Bush said, damn it,
shame
can't
on
get
me.
fooled again.
Can't
get fooled again.
I would be putting George Pickens like 4th on the list of things that lost them that game against it.
Oh yeah. No, I'm yes.
Is he on the list? Yes.
Yeah, he's on the list. He wasn't.
I didn't say he single-handedly cost them the game either.
Yeah. So anyway, you know what? This is why we do this show, man. I love this.
Different perspectives.
I love it. This is great, and that we could do this.
I just can't believe the three of you could be so wrong about something so
That's why you're in the Hall of Fame, and we're all just trying to figure out how we can get there.
We're all measly muggles.
Yes. Up next, the word consistent was thrown around for the second day in a row concerning a player. Let's dive into that next on the Media Match.
Boy.
DallasCowboys.com.
Another one.
Hey, Cowboy fans. Keith Davis here, former Cowboys safety.
Keith Davis into the end zone.
You know what separates champions from the rest? Making the right move at the right moment. With blockchain.com, that's never been easier. The Cowboys became America's team by striking bold when it mattered most. Now it's your turn. Invest like your icons with blockchain.com. Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys today to get started. and learn more. That's blockchain.com/Cowboys.
How about them Cowboys? Or how about them Tyson Cowboys Nuggets? As we cheer for the stars on the field, we love that we've also got some stars on our plate, thanks to Tyson brand star-shaped Cowboys Nuggets. That, along with all our other favorite Tyson Foods products, sure make game day special. Score some delicious Tyson Cowboys Nuggets and become a game day star, just like our Cowboys. As you enjoy your stars on and off the plate, remember, tailgates and game day have always been Tyson.
Cowboys fans, SeatGeek is the only primary ticketing partner of America's team and here to help you experience all the action this season. SeatGeek makes it easy to find the perfect seats to the perfect game, so you can be part of all the touchdown celebrations and momentum-shifting takeaways this season. Whether you're getting tickets to Cowboys games or to any other live event in DFW, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official primary ticketing partner of the Dallas Cowboys. SeatGeek.
Look, school is starting and I'm just a kid. And let's be honest, I'm not going to shop for myself. But we can get up to 40% off back-to-school essentials on Uber Eats. Did I mention I need poster board for my science fair, lunch for my field trip, and unlined note cards for my history quiz tomorrow? Or were they lined? Anyway, Uber Eats has like all the back-to-school stuff on there. So come on, let's order now on Uber Eats and get up to 40% off. We're cool, right? Cool.
Not literally everything. Promotion ends 9/16 and is subject to change or cancellation. Exclusions may apply. Check app for availability.
Back to Media Mash.
Tostitos team bags are back. You can get the official chip of the Dallas Cowboys at your local store, available for a limited time only. Scan the QR code or visit FritoLayExperiences.com for a chance to win epic experiences all season long. All right, that's Jock Taylor, Hall of Famer Ed Warder. You got Nick Harris. I'm Newey Scruggs. This is the Media Mash. So the word consistent was used today by the defensive coordinator, Matt Eberflus, speaking about one Trayvon Diggs. Shotty talked about it yesterday, so
He used the same word, didn't he?
yeah. So we're here.
So they got their talking points together. They all watch the same PowerPoint. They're good to go.
Mm-hmm. And Ed, you mentioned something we kind of dived into yesterday. We'll get your take. Does he play again here for the Cowboys? They got 4 regular season games. They need to win all 4. Need some help from Philadelphia as they try to make the playoffs.
If he doesn't play this week, he's not going to play. Like if there was ever a matchup that was perfect for his presence, this is it. You got the team that's thrown the most interceptions in the league this year. If you put him in there with Bland, you got 2 former NFL interception leaders. So if he said, yes, last week he was healthy. This is the best he's felt since before the season even began. And they didn't play him. And they explained, well, this is just part of the ramp up. This is what every guy goes through at his return to the field. We never play him the first week that they're back on the practice field.
That's all true, though.
But so now if they don't play him, then
it's something different.
It's for other reasons. And we know there are other reasons involved in all of this.
Oh, they're laying the runway for them to say it's other reasons. And over the course of the last couple of days, that's become a lot more clear. I thought Dak's comments today on Diggs were pretty interesting, too, because he was asked if he's had some conversations with Trayvon over the course of the last few days. He was asked by the great Hall of Famer Ed Warder about it. And he had said that, he has had some conversations, and it's more like, hey, man, like, if you do this, the coaches will see it as that. The coaches are expecting this, so how can you get to this level and still be consistent every day? And I thought that was really good leadership perspective from Dak. And they actually went on their same hospital visit on Monday. The team, they did their local children's hospital visits on Monday, and Dak and Trayvon, they were linked up together. They rode the bus down there together, and he said that was another opportunity to talk with them and discuss some things on the way there. But ultimately for Trayvon Diggs, it's going to have to be finally answering to a challenge that this team gives him. And it feels like he has not answered to any challenge.
You know what?
Given him.
He can't put his ego to the side.
It's a mental block. It really
ain't no
is.
mental block. It's just an ego. It's I don't want to do.
The ego is the mental block.
Okay.
I mean, it's just saying.
I don't want to do what you tell me. I want to do it my way.
Exactly.
And when you getting 12 picks, you can do it your way. But since you ain't doing that and you hurt all the time and you guessing and getting
can't get 12 picks if you're not on the field.
Yeah. So if you want to play, you gotta put your ego to the side for a minute, long enough to get on the field.
So what is it they want? What's the challenge? What is it they told them that they want?
The consistency factor on
from the time you walk in the door till the time you walk out the door.
See, I thought that was telling. That means be on time to everything, not whatever their rules are.
Be fully engaged.
Yeah. Whatever their rules are, even if you think that
all the rules that they don't apply to George Pickens.
Well, even if you think the DC's scheme is stupid,
Buy in
and play.
Try it.
Honestly, I'm glad you brought that up because if I was shoddy in that George Pickens conversation that he had with him over the weekend, I'd point at number 7. I'd be like, that's how quick things can go wrong when the play on the field does not match what you've been giving us, when you already have issues behind the scenes. You don't want it to be that bad. Or you can point at a guy like, let's say, DaRon Bland. He hasn't had his best year, right? I mean, he's given up, the 5th most yards in the NFL in zone coverage so far this season. That's more of a DC problem, but nevertheless. When you look at that, but you don't have any issues with DaRon Bland. You don't have any off-the-field issues with DaRon Bland.
And he's been hurt in this time, and
exactly.
He's been embraced coming back.
Almost the exact
same
same
And he's a man
situation.
corner, too.
Exactly. Almost the exact same situation that you could look at with Trayvon, being like, hey, when you have off-the-field issues, the leash is a lot shorter, and that should be a perfect example why. And I with Diggs, I've given up on Diggs. I gave up on him in a long time ago.
Why?
It's clearly what we were just talking about, that mental block when it comes to the ego part. And if you are at this point understanding that you are going to be gone this offseason, no matter what, why are you not trying to do everything possible to put 4 good games of tape on right
even
now?
if you selfishly let me just do what I do.
What are you sacrificing? What are you sacrificing?
Maybe he's afraid he'll get hurt again. Every time he goes on the field, he gets hurt.
Are you surprised?
No, not at all. Not at all. Not with the maturity that he's shown us over the course of the
He could have helped them win some of these games.
I disagree.
Really?
I do disagree, yeah. I don't think you've gotten the level of play from Trayvon Diggs since he came back from that first knee injury that you did beforehand. Honestly, those first 2 games that he had in 23 before he did suffer that knee injury out on this practice field was fantastic stuff. Because even when he was having the double-digit interceptions, he was giving up a lot of yards in man coverage. He wasn't having that. That was his best 2-game stretch in his career. And then from there, it's all been gone. It's all been gone.
So what do you guys think? We ever see him again or no?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm leaning toward no,
Well,
but I'm not putting it past Shoddy to give him one last chance because I think Shoddy, knowing Shoddy and how he's treated some of these players, I think he might give him that one.
Well, I think it's that whole thing about consistent from time you get here till you leave. That's a long time, man. That's like telling your kids from time you get to school, I don't want to hear nothing, no text. I don't want to hear nothing about you.
I think you do, and for this simple reason. You have 4 games you need to win. And you mentioned the other day about Chavon Ravel and just maybe some wear and tear a little bit on his body. They're going to need him at some point in time along this way, I believe. And Jerry's the guy that said, don't let your money get mad. If you're Eberflus,
and he honored that in the Micah Parsons deal.
For the first time in your career covering this team, no offense.
It's first year.
So, but once you do it once, it's a lot easier to do it the second time.
But I think they'll need him and play him.
But do you think Diggs could have helped them the other night? I mean,
yes.
Ravel got beat for an important touchdown. Ravel missed a tackle on Gibbs.
They were dotting him up.
He was a final defender.
They were recognizing. Yes.
They went after him.
Yes. They could.
You would not have targeted Diggs like that in all likelihood.
I just think that when we think about this here, along the way, if you're trying to win these 4 games for everybody in the room and to be able to say you made the playoffs, you want to win.
And you know what?
And if you got to put him out there, fine. But look, these are the last December games that he's ever going to play. Todd Williams out there at the Cowboys.
And to the point you were making about, if Dak is serving as some sort of intermediary in all this, and Dak's pressing for the guy to get one more chance, put him on the field, let him have his chance.
Is Dak going to vouch for him?
He kind of sounded like he did.
It's like Shoddy. Shoddy's saying, so you're vouching for him, Dak?
Yes.
What's Dak got to lose? Dak's seen him at his best.
Yeah.
Ready, Stewart? Trayvon Diggs.
Bridges?
I'm just.
I mean, yeah. Like I said, if I'm Dak, I want to make the playoffs. If I think this guy might have 1, 2, 3 series in here that can help me, I'm throwing him out there. You know what? You can deal with tomorrow. But right now, get yourself.
He said he's healthy. He said he's ready. If he's done everything else, let him prove it.
When's the last time he played, Nick?
7 games ago.
Yeah,
7 games.
Yeah, before Denver.
All right, so he comes
2
back
games
this
before
week.
Denver. That was a Carolina game.
He's got to be a role player. What, 20 snaps?
I think we see him. I just do. You're not good enough back there to sit up here and just keep thumbing your nose. I mean, if you want to win these 4 games, you're going to need all hands on deck. If it's one thing we have seen in his career, he's played Minnesota well as a good corner. Diggs has played well against Jefferson. I'm not saying that's going to happen Sunday, but damn it, I'll roll.
Everybody should play well against Jefferson when McCarthy's throwing the ball.
Hey, don't let Gary Myers use.
I drive from Narnia every day to get here, so I was
From
thinking
where?
From Narnia. I'm moving to Frisco next year. I'm not doing it, but anyway, on my drives, I think about a lot of things.
Okay, we got to ask you before you get started, though. Where's Narnia?
Rockwall. I live far away. I feel like. I was thinking about it on my drive up here. I was like,
Yeah, I bet you were.
yeah, exactly. I got a lot of time to think.
What else
That's why
did you
I bring
think
it up.
about?
I think about a lot of things.
Listen to the Old Testament. And
I'm sorry, Nick.
It takes
Go
about
ahead,
an
go
hour
ahead.
every day. It's tough. It's not like Chris Arnold. He comes from Waxahachie, which is
That's a choice.
blows my mind.
That's a choice.
Yeah, shout out to him. But anyway, thinking on my drive up here, I was like, man, yeah, Diggs probably does give you a little bit of a layer of play. Is it worth the headache though? And I was like, no, it's not. I was like, what about Josh Butler? What's he up to? That's how bad it's gotten. That is how bad it's gotten. And that's nothing against Josh Butler. Josh Butler's a decent player. You know, he gave them a couple of games last year. Like about the Commanders game, he had an interception and another one. Fine player, but that's where we're at. A guy who has not played all season, practice all season. I think I would rather see him get activated right now.
I mean, the coach brought back Phillip Rivers, so you could bring back some other corner who's been sitting down on the couch.
Stephon Gilmore. He's
Yeah,
still out there.
yeah.
That's probably only
He's
about
out
$2
there.
million right now.
Bring him out there.
Right? This is the beauty of this show. We all have different opinions on this, man. We all have different
And
opinions.
we're so reluctant to share them. You really have to drag it out of us.
Look, this makes this show fun. This makes this show fun. And we're challenging each other in a nice, in a good way. All right, here's my view. This is why. I just think we're going to see him. But this is why we love the sport. This is why we cover it. All right, let's take a break here. When we come back,
I'll tell you why I'm frustrated.
okay, he'll tell us why he's frustrated. And I'm frustrated with I'll just let you do it. I'm gonna just shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up. Media Mash right here at DallasCowboys.com.
How about them Cowboys? Or how about them Tyson Cowboys Nuggets? As we cheer for the stars on the field, we love that we've also got some stars on our plate, thanks to Tyson brand star-shaped Cowboys Nuggets. That, along with all our other favorite Tyson Foods products, sure make game day special. Score some delicious Tyson Cowboys Nuggets and become a game day star, just like our Cowboys. As you enjoy your stars on and off the plate, remember, tailgates and game day have always been Tyson.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Look, school's starting and I'm just a kid. And let's be honest, I'm not going to shop for myself. But we can get up to 40% off back-to-school essentials on Uber Eats. Did I mention I need poster board for my science fair, lunch for my field trip, and unlined note cards for my history quiz tomorrow? Or were they lined? Anyway, Uber Eats has all the back-to-school stuff on there. So come on, let's order now on Uber Eats and get up to 40% off. We're cool, right? Cool.
Not literally everything. Promotion ends 9/16 and is subject to change or cancellation. Exclusions may apply. Check app for availability.
Hey, Cowboy fans. Keith Davis here, former Cowboys safety.
Keith Davis into the end zone.
You know what separates champions from the rest? Making the right move at the right moment. With blockchain.com, that's never been easier. The Cowboys became America's team by striking bold when it mattered most. Now it's your turn. Invest like your icons with blockchain.com. Visit blockchain.com/cowboys today to get started and learn more. That's blockchain.com/cowboys.
Back to Media Mash.
Celebrate the season at Cowboys Christmas extravaganza powered by Reliant at the Star in Frisco. Join the Cowboys every Friday and Saturday night from November 21st to December 20th for an electrifying holiday performance. Details, visit thestardistrict.com, and I'll tell you, here's the best detail. It's free. Come on now.
If it's free, it's for me.
It's free, and it's a good show. That's what I'll tell you right there. I will vouch and put my hand down and say, I've seen it and seen it. I've seen it.
Okay.
Full effort, too. They give you the Ed Werder full court effort, okay?
They're being competitive, highly competitive.
They're playing like it matters every week, the high standard, okay?
Beautiful.
No days off.
I'll be there. I'm financially investing in that.
Media Match, Jack Taylor, Ed Werder, Nick Harris. I'm Newey Scruggs. All right, Jack, what you got for us?
Okay, when I saw Siobhan Revelle,
East Carolina Pirate,
give up a touchdown, fall down on his back, all I could think of was, didn't they draft you to be a man press corner? And asking you to do this stuff that you never ever played until this year. And so I'm frustrated with Matt Eberflus because I can't stand a defense coordinator who cannot adapt. Okay, you don't have your tools. We understand that. Can you come up with something else that allows your guys to play their best? And the answer is no. And so I like Matt Eberflus, the man. I can't stand his coaching performance this year because he ain't showed me not a single shred of real adaptability all bleeping year.
What about the 5-man defensive fronts?
Okay, you know what? He did show me that shred.
The Lions know how to go up against him all day long, boy, don't they?
Yeah, it's just frustrating.
You know what's more puzzling than that to me?
What's that?
Is how do you trade? You're a linebackers coach. That's your area of expertise. How do you trade for 2 veteran middle linebackers and neither one of them meets your standard or your expectations?
That's fair.
How?
That could call in. See, now, this would call into, that's the same type of thing where I'm just like, for several weeks, and that's why sport is fluid. What's true today might not be true an hour, a day, a month from now. Is I was like, I don't really want to change coordinators if I'm the Cowboys, another system. But now I'm like, okay, these are the pieces you got before free agency and the draft. Why don't you just figure out who's the best DC you can get? If he's here, if he's Eberflus after you figure it out, well, fine. If it's somebody else, well, damn it, you just finna learn the 4th system in the 4th year and deal with it. But he's very frustrating me this year.
You know, even the 5-man fronts, they're giving up over 7 yards per play.
Well, I didn't have any statistical data to come back.
I'm just saying, like, even things that we think is going right is not going right. That shocked me, so.
It's just man.
Well, if you can't play run defense with 5 defensive linemen, how can you play?
Look.
What's the problem?
Well, the Lions did a good thing. They put the 6 offensive linemen out there and created their own mismatch.
So one thing will be very interesting because I always say context matters. You gave 44 points to the Lions. You got J.J. McCarthy, who's been spotty. And it's spotty, and this offense
that's graceful,
right? When you talk about takeaways, they're 30th or 31st in the league. They're bad.
Right. Aaron Jones been their daddy around here, though.
So this dude comes out here and gives some Russell Wilson like performance, and
okay, he
Jacoby Brissett out here. I mean, if Matt Eberflus sits up here and gives it all up like this, and his team out here scoring 30, 35. When do we start to reevaluate and say? I've
already reevaluated, but the rest of y'all can join me if that happens.
If you Jerry, when do you do that?
That's a good point. Like, you can't make this dude look like we've seen some other cats look.
He can't look like Michigan McCarthy.
Right, and then next week he back to throwing for 129 yards and 3 interceptions.
Yeah. That's something I'm starting to.
That's a fair point.
And if you're Jerry and the Diggs says he's healthy and you all know our standard, and then you're getting torched up here, I'm going to start to wonder, depending on how they finish, and you need 4. If you go 2-2 or 1-3 and it looks bad, what do they say about Eberflus?
It's going to end up being Russell Wilson's last best game of his career.
Right.
And the Arizona Cardinals' last win.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Because I don't think old boy will be back. Jonathan Gannon. I don't think Jonathan Gannon is going to be back as the head coach next year.
1-8, and you're the one.
Dude.
At home.
What's it?
In a game that was not close.
Was they said they lost 10 of 11, and the one was the Cowboys at the Arizona one. It's bad. It's bad. So
it's amazing what happens when you give up 40 points 3 times in a year.
So the
game is going to cost them. The game that's going to cost them is the tie. The game where they scored 40 points and didn't win at home. The first time that's ever happened in Dak's 10 years as a starting quarterback. Because if they win out, I don't see how they're going to win the division because I don't see Philly, as bad as they are right now,
doing that. Right?
With the backup quarterbacks they're going to be playing, like the only game they could reasonably lose, I think, is Buffalo. And so if you win out, you're finished a half game behind them, and the half game to me is Green Bay.
I say the full game is Arizona.
Carolina.
Well, at least Carolina's having a decent season.
I can't get that out of my mind, though.
Because Buckle Up told them it was coming?
And yeah, first,
and they didn't answer
first
the call?
carry 9 yards. So, yeah, he whooped you up and down. But then they get the 6:02.
But the Green Bay loss, the tie is a clock operator thing.
Yeah, but just Ed, just to be there, sitting there, watch it, and then Nick was right. They were all on this. They got the ball with 6:02 and closed the show.
Yeah. After the Cowboys had their only 3 and out,
right,
with a chance to take the lead.
Did I just watch this? And yes, they're a good football team now, but like, wow. I mean, that whole thing was embarrassing. But yes, for a man to sit up and tell you to buckle up, and then he buckled up and beat you down, that was really embarrassing.
An average player who's a former member of your team.
And then said, well, they wasn't buckled
Called
up.
you out.
and then after, yeah, man, gotta give him his credit. He did, yeah, he told us that.
They wasn't buckled up.
Right. And they all admitted afterwards, like, wow. I mean, it was just that it'd been a minute since I'd seen something like that happen where, my man talked all like, then, Jerry like, oh, we're shaking in our boots. I mean, they looked down and laughed at.
Thanks for getting us motivated. Thanks for making sure we're ready.
That was something to watch, man. I mean,
You think that was a low moment of the season?
Ed, I'm like you, Ed. I'm old enough to have covered a team that went to a Super Bowl around here, and it's like this would not have been acceptable to the players.
You wouldn't want to fly that plane home.
No. 6:02 on your defense, and they ran out the clock.
The Carolina Panthers.
With a dude who said, buckle up, and he meant it, and he did it like he was Muhammad Ali. That one I can't get out of my head.
There's been a handful of games this year that they walked into expecting you should get a W out of that game, and they lost. You talk about that one. I know Chicago's ended up being a pretty good team, but that was another one. Arizona. I think it is more likely that the Eagles lose too than the Cowboys went out.
You know what? I'm not even. I wouldn't even argue with you about that because I've been telling my friends like, when the last time they won 4 in a row, dog?
Exactly. Not this year.
Well, they just won 3.
But 3 is not 4.
Correct.
And then here it is, that fourth game. They told, we're feeling good, then crack.
Yeah.
It's disheartening. It's disheartening.
I say they be type to win 3, Philly lose 2, and then they lose the last game at New York. He said that's the kind of season it's been. Jackson Dart to be dancing on them.
Or the three, those 3 straight NFC East championship games.
Is Dan Quinn going to play Jaden Daniels against the Eagles?
And Mariota's been
Jerry should pay him
kind of decent. Mariota's been decent. He
well,
almost
the game
beat
you
Denver.
gotta they'll beat the Raiders.
They don't need almost. Almost ain't going to get it done.
He's been decent.
The Raiders they'll beat, but the game is you need the first Washington win because they'll all have their trips to Bahama planned.
The Raiders are going to lose as soon as they see the weather forecast for Sunday.
Yes.
Okay? Before they leave Las Vegas and they look at their phones and they see the weather forecast is 20 degrees with 25-mile-an-hour winds and 1 to 3 inches of snow.
Nah.
With a backup quarterback, and they can't protect any quarterback, and they can't run the football.
I think about Pete Carroll, DC, around here next year.
No, yeah.
Shoddy, the boss.
Shoddy, the boss.
Let's end it there on that positive.
Shoddy the boss.
Positive way to end the.
You don't think we can end it a better way?
Hey, this was fun.
It was fun.
This was fun.
Fast show.
Thank you, Newey.
By the way, since it's our last show.
What do you mean it's our last show?
Of the week. Sunday.
He was telling me, I thought he was breaking news. I was like,
call it. Cowboys, Vikings. Who you got?
They don't cover, but they win.
Cowboys win easily.
Cowboys win it.
Wow. Everybody's back. Everybody's back. Back on that hopium. That fresh pack.
Oh, what do you think?
You see who they're playing.
Yeah.
No. He didn't say buckle up.
I say this: they need to score inside the 20. If they don't score inside the 20 in this game,
they'll be just like the Buckeyes looking.
They need to quit turning the ball over. They're -8.
That too.
Brian Flores might have something for him. Let's see it. All right. I'm Newey Scruggs, Media Master. Talk to you next week. Bye.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this,